coming to you from the world where the Triforce Goddesses and the random number gods collide. This is the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament, the 2019 edition. We've got a great race between thalane and thisisnotyoho, and thalane asked to free Ack the Boker, so we have Ack the Boker. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and honestly, I like that other file name a lot better than the one he changed it to now, but yeah, I'm just going to ignore that. So we got someone I'm not paying attention to on the left. We got thisisnotyoho on the right, who has a very polite and well-mannered file name. Honestly, I'm rooting for him this seed.
Now, of course, chat being itself noticed that there was 3 ice rods in the seed hatch today, so I think they're hoping for a trolley ice rod. I think it's going to end up in Kakariko myself.
And all 3 of them are going to be coming from the mushroom that they're not going to find. That's what the hash is telling us today.
that might be what it's trying to tell us. Oh, but we have got a loaded day of rando. I mean, we've got 3 races in the afternoon, and then like at 8:30, we've got like 4 races going like within like an hour of each other. So stay tuned to the Speed Gaming Network, because we've got all the rando you could hope for today.
I mean, not even today. Just get used to this for the next 3 weeks. Only everybody has to play like, a best-of-3 series every week out of 32 groups and 4 people in each group. I think that's, God, I did the math. It's like 69,000 matches that are going to be going on in the next 3 weeks. So don't expect this to stop anytime soon. We're going to be clogging up Speed Gaming with nothing but rando.
No, not at all. So, someone asking if this is a doubleheader. I think it's just one race today. There is a doubleheader later tonight between Hitaka and Koi. But yeah, looks like this is just game 1 between these two, which means we're just going with the old faithful open mode. Nothing special, nothing fancy.
Yeah. This is the first match between them in this group. This is the 1 versus the 4 seed, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong, though. These are things I should know. I should be paying attention on the way. But we don't have to worry about it, because we're off.
We are off. $20 and a shield to start in our first 2 locations.
All right, we already got the immediate divergence, so everyone paying attention. Yoho doing the stinky uncle route. thalane doing an early map check. I saw a pendant at Hera, and I think it was 2 crystals, but good lord, was it fast.
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
All right.
Alright, this is the second seed that I've got fairies on the tree pole. Like, are they like pulling their like nest out or something?
Hey, get out of here, guys. Yeah, not very, I guess, very environmental friendly to be, making all these fairies homeless. That was a bottle from Uncle, and electing to check Uncle first before going over to the bombs, that kind of adds an extra transition. If you check the chest before Uncle, you get 1 less transition. I believe it's just a slightly faster.
It's always amazing to watch how much these like top runners have optimized how to run this game. But we just had bombs in that second chest. We also had bombs on the lumberjack ledge, and we have bombs in Kakariko. So I think this seed is brought to you by bombs today. They explode. You might want to get out of the way when they go off.
Getting the 3 bombs early, though, is always just a load of pressure off your mind, because, you have exactly 3 mystery bomb walls in Kakariko. Then you have, the 4th one being the Kakariko race game. So getting them early, getting it out of the way, you don't have to worry about isolating those locations. You can just go ahead and check them on your first sweep through. So always a good thing to find.
Especially right now where we've only got $20 of cash on our hands.
Yeah.
There's 30 on the other side of one of those bomb walls, so at least with Yoho, he'd get up to the 50 if he had to buy him. So again, to your point, having those 3 available is just going to make it a lot easier to just go through it without worrying.
Yeah, you have to consider bottle vendors too. Between Blind's Hideout and Kakariko Well, you'll have always 50 available free rupees. So if you wanted to check Bottle Vendor on the way, you basically just have to get, another 50. That's a bottle in the back of Blind's Hideout, so that will be pretty nice for him. He's not going to get super punished by not skipping that bottle on Uncle.
And we got a chest turn and a flippers. Although, is the chest turn... Is it still a chest turn if it's only 90 degrees?
I not accept the sovereignty of chest turns and whatnot. I see it as any other chest open, so they mean nothing to me. I don't represent that kind of swag, I'm sorry. So Thalane's kind of just giving us a sneak preview of probably exactly what we'll see from Yo-Oh here. Like 21 rupees there in the first two chests, so blackjack, pretty cool. And here we go, we're going to be short exactly 4 rupees to check the bottle merchant here.
Which Thalane's just going to take a second trip through the well, because those 10 rupees will just reset, and he'll be good. Doesn't even bother with the second one, just gets the one he needs.
Yeah, that's fine. Of course, if he doesn't get a weapon here, he will have to make some decisions on where he's going to route next. Need about 5 bombs to do escape. God, if you're me, to do Mini Moldorm Cave, you need about 30 of them. But they gotta go in and, kill the Moldorms.
Well...
Ooh, that bomb looked a little high there.
Yeah, just a bit outside. But what's Sick Kid giving us today? He's giving away arrows.
Well, really not too much. We got an extra bottle, we got shields for days, and a lot of arrows that we can't use. And then flippers and seemingly no money. That can stress you out a little bit, and with those early flippers, if they did want to get Houlihan to check Zora, their means of doing that are a little bit more difficult now.
Yeah, you would need the only way I know of would require the glove and basically bomb yourself into the sanctuary hole.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of too. Ooh, we're gonna be getting a little blind race game check. Always a fan of this. Just that heart container.
Chad asking where was the other bottle. It was in the Uncle Tunnel. And more sticks at the race game.
I guess Thalane, did he go up and check
Nope.
Lumberjack?
He did Lumberjack right after his Sanctuary.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out where they had caught up, but for the life of me, I couldn't remember anything being on Lumberjack, so there probably was nothing there, and I just wrote it off in my head.
Mm-hmm. All right, Yoho gave us a longer map check, so it's non-5-6 crystals at Eastern and Desert, and then red pendant at Hera. I think Yoho forgot that he had the flippers because he was like expecting, I think, to get set back up, and then was like, wait, I can actually swim? I'm a turtle and I can actually swim?
That's exactly why. It had nothing to do with the flippers. It's because when you pick that Squirtle sprite, you obviously can always swim because, he's a turtle.
Mm-hmm.
And Thalane staying a little bit more traditional, going down to the dam. However, I do expect him to go over to Agina right now. He does like to do this route in general, but I think a lot of this just has to do with he has no bombs. Like, where else can he go?
Mm-hmm.
And Yoho is still swimming. I'd be a little curious to see where he goes. Maybe he's going to go up and check the front 3 at Saha. Maybe he's going to go check the front 2 in the Waterfall Cave. Maybe he's going to go all the way to Ice Rod Cave. I'm not sure.
That turn looks like Waterfall of Wishing.
I mean, this play is fine. You isolate Zora, but Lord, it doesn't look like he's going to be getting Zora money anytime soon, and you need something to kick off the seed. And, you know, it gave you the flipper, so you're thinking there probably is something over here, like $300. That's also a lamp and a Gina. Ooh, that could be a pretty big play right there.
Yeah, that would that opens up that opens up Dark Crossroads. If the key's in the right place, that would open up Back of Escape without gloves. Sticks at Zora Ledge. And Thalane is going to head over to Sahasrahla and see what his closet holds.
And I bet you've probably, you know, one of the things you wish for in these chests, we're looking for items and progression right now, man. I think he's thinking he probably wants a big 20. Because he wants bombs to get the rest of his route kicking off. He's kind of gridlocked and needing a damage source. So this will probably be the most you ever see somebody want a big 20 ever.
Piece of heart, $50, and a cape.
Ooh.
So, I think a wizard could potentially be in our future at this point.
Cape and lamp, it is starting to suggest that just a little bit. Still missing that sword. And he did get $50, so he could have bought bombs, but he's going to go ahead and check Eastern. The seed's just being so thin to them right now. I don't think really this is a bad play at all. Yoho is probably going to be following right behind him. I don't know, he might elect to do something different. He has bombs now, so he could do South Shore if he wanted to.
He also talked to the old man and told us that Meyer is going to be our green pendant.
Okay. That always makes for a fun seed. No one likes going independent Meyer, so I'm always happy to see that. That could add a lot of drama down the end of the road.
Okay, we got map starts. I would assume Yoho's probably going to check Dam and probably mini Trolldorm Cave now that he has the bombs to take care of it.
And Eastern probably looks even more like a favorable play in Thalane's eyes right now because, I mean, he did get that lamp, so he at least knows that back chest is within the realms of logic to be, you know, the next piece of progression he's looking for. Yeah, Yoho will go ahead and get his nothing over here. Then he gets to make the decision whether he wants to go to Mini Moldorm Cave or go to Agina and get the lamp. That lamp really seems like a huge play right now. If you get a fire rod early, I mean, it's probable that you might never even see that lamp for the remainder of the seed, and the lamp is just really nice to have. It does save time in the dark rooms.
Mm-hmm. Some of them are pretty elementary once you kind of learn the basics of it, but then when you have like the Meyer basement, the pod basement with all those turtles, like there are times where you know you learn how to do the dark rooms so that you don't have to go hunting for the lamp, but it is certainly a benefit when you have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is we've already done a qualifier stage to kind of condense this to the top 128 runners. Everyone is really good at this game, but I mean, doing a dark room versus doing it with the lamp, I mean, the lamp person is probably just going to be a little bit faster just because their movements can, you know, be a little bit more economic. And in this stage of the game, man, every transition counts. All these time saves matter.
All right, well, Mini Trolldorm Cave had a buttload of nothing.
Yeah, what's going on with this seed?
What's going on with Thalane, like, spamming the lamp? Dude, we get it.
He's just getting a whole lot of nothing right now. Honestly, he's probably just doing that to censor the swear words that he's saying. That's my guess, at least. And just a piece of heart, so Eastern paying up with exactly nothing.
What about Ice Rod Cave?
Ice Rod Cave has a cane, and that is very helpful, but it's not going to be getting us anything immediately.
It's a weapon. It's at least something.
Yeah, but it's a weapon right after, you know, you did Mini Moldorm Cave. This will make Escape look a little bit more appetizing to him, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go there.
Which is exactly where he's headed. And Thalane finally Words, buys, bombs.
So I don't think Thalane will be getting enough money to do Zora, regardless of the checks that he's done. I think he's still going to be a little bit short, even if he tries to put it off. He's also not even going to know that there's that 300 in the back of the waterfall. Boy, that would be a really crummy thing to get bottlenecked on. Early Zora seeds with no money, those are the worst. Hey, there's a sword.
Hey, Aga's open. Not fully for either of our runners, though, but still. Sorry, Ag, didn't mean to step on you there.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, that was something to get excited for. We finally get to see, you know, the next piece of the puzzle, maybe. Man, doing Aga with no pearl, though, never looks good. And then, you know, Yoho is probably not going to do that before he gets his lamp, which might actually be a really good thing for him, because he might not be dragging that over in the Agena Cave for that long.
I mean, we were talking about dark rooms that are kind of difficult without the lamp. Aga's kind of the toughest of them.
It's a pretty annoying one to do. Hey, there's a hook shot.
Hey, well, at least that won't be on the pedestal today. I've had like 2 pedestal hook shot seeds in this tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, those are the worst. Because you have to actually go get it. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you need they should have been switching over to 6 crystal cannon. Then you just not worry about it. That's the best way to do it.
Well, and see, the thing is, hookshot again is nice, but it doesn't really kind of help with progression thus far.
It is really helpful.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of pointing towards Aga, though, because the thing is that, you know, with hookshot and flippers, that will, once you do Aga, you can get over to the west side of Dark World using both of those combined.
I mean, that's exactly what I was gonna say there. At least with this hookshot, it's still nothing we can use immediately, but good lord, is it really telling the story that it might be Aga time. Flippers, cape, hookshot, your one sword. I wouldn't be too hesitant to pull the trigger on Aga. Alright, we're going to be doing Dark Cross in the dark here. So again, these are the tiny little time saves that Thalane could be saving on Yoho because of that lamp, but he seems to be doing just fine here. Trying not to get bullied by these snakes here.
Chat's saying, what checks do they have left? Dark Cross, Pyramid Ledge, Zora. If the key is in the Dark Crossroads, that give us back of Escape 2.
And Yoho is searching for the chest, using a little echolocation there. I felt like he tapped it there, but I think he's also got a snake hot on his heels here. Alright, just 3 bombs, so the back is locked.
So it is possible that if Zora could have like a glove that gets you to Death Mountain, it could have a book that could open up deserts. Like it is possible that that fish has something of importance.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Zora, or we're looking at Pyramid, and they both look awful. So it's pretty gross, actually. I mean, Zora could just outright have the pearl too. Oh man, I really hope that's not the case. You get a pearl from Zora, then all of a sudden you got to be thinking to yourself like, what if my next piece of progressions isn't pod? At least they could get around it, but man, if they didn't have like a way to get over to pod or get over to West Dark World, this would be pretty silly.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, not having pearl, I'd almost check Zora, because you're gonna lose. You don't have the mirror, so you can't like get into Dark World. Mirror, go check. Go to Zora. you know, get back to your portal, and then you kind of route it. Like, you're almost having to, like, you're having to do essentially 2 save and quits to basically get yourself back to where you were.
Yeah, but the big problem with Chicken Zora right now is there's no
Cash.
banks in Hyrule right now. Yoho needs a loan here. He could do a big Galaxy Brain play if he wanted to. When he gets the big key to check the big chest, you can go get the 90 rupees that are in the dark room. He would have to do it in the dark, but that doesn't seem like a bad option to get money right now.
Yeah, and Thalane, we know there's a 300 at the Waterfall of Wishing Cave. I think there was a 20 there too, so I mean, he would kind of be at 500. Well, we know he will get there. You know, he doesn't obviously, but he's about to go do Dark Crossroads.
Yeah, so he'll do Dark Cross. He'll get his 3 bombs. I would not be surprised to see him just go ahead and head over to Aga after this. He doesn't have the Moon Pearl, but like he just has the flipper stuff. And he might just be thinking the Pearl is over there anyways, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Death Warp. And Zora doesn't really look that great to him right now, sitting on, you know, 173 bucks either.
Mm-hmm. Especially because you don't have gloves, so you can't go to that rock over by Desert where you can get 50 rupees on every entrance, I guess you would call it. You don't have access to Arrow Game yet. Like, your sources to like farm cash are pretty slim without glove or Dark World access.
Well, we're going to be doing the save and quit. He might just be a little cautious that there's a glove over in that area. And again, no one likes to do Aga without the Pearl. It just seems so wrong because, I mean, you're literally doing it for 1 chest and then that's pretty much it.
Alright, well, Yoho has a big key. We'll see if Yoho decides to head and go get that money in the dark room to get himself to 500.
So where do you think it's at, Jex? Do you think it's Zora? Or you think it's Pyramid? It's one of the two. We know.
Where the Pearl is?
I mean, just their next piece of progression. That was going to be the next bonus part of the question. Was what do you think it is? I have no clue. I'm over here scratching my head.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna guess Pearl is. You know what? No. Here's the fun part. It's glove, it gets you up to Death Mountain, and there's no hammer or pearl, and you're still stuck doing Aga.
Well, I guess the theme for this seed for Thalane is going to be he is short exactly a very small amount of rupees to get anything done. Well, your stun prize is 1 rupee, so we could just go ahead and genocide the entire Zora population to pay off, you know, their king.
Yeah. Now, granted, in version 31, they've removed the stun prize, so every seed will always have a single green rupee.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's what I heard.
Is that true? No, that's not true. That's not true.
I'm pretty certain that's what they changed. Because, like, literally every version 31 seed I've done is 1 rupee.
Nah, I think you might have just gotten a little unlucky on that. They're definitely mixing up the stun prize on it. It just so happens we rolled a vanilla one today.
Huh.
Alright. Thalane was nice to the Zora population and just killed those pesky crabs that, you know, honestly, they needed to die out there. And we farmed 1 rupee 7 times until we got our 500. But yeah, it was the they made the drops prizes are not shuffled anymore. Like the items themselves are not shuffled, but the enemy pools that they are is what's shuffled. And there's a glove on Zora. And then Yoho will be doing Aga 1. And you know what? This play might be fine for him. Again, the biggest thing he could find on the pyramid right now would be a big 20. So they're looking good this seed.
I mean, it's still not, we're still not out of the woods with Aga. All this does is give us back of escape and give us access to the mountain.
And I think, yeah, one of these will probably have our Pearl. Boy, if you could bypass Aga this seed, though, man, that would really be something.
Especially because Yoho's doing it.
Just a big 23 bombs back there. And Yoho might not realize it, but he's stunning these enemies and getting these 1 rupees. Keep doing it! Or maybe not kill them and hope there's a big 20 in the prize pools here. But I was about to say that's another good thing for Aga for him, is that you do kind of have to kill enemies while you're going through here, and getting a rupee drop would be beneficial. Looks like he's getting bullied here a little bit. That's such a cool place to put guards with long swords. You know, in a maze where they can poke you, but you can't poke them? It's terrible.
Yeah. Now, unless we find a hammer or a mirror, even with Hera being a pendant, we can't get there just yet.
It's a pendant. They don't want to anyways. It's a blessing in disguise.
I mean, if they find mirror up here, you kind of assume they're going to do it.
Yeah. Mirror's interesting, Hammer's interesting. I think this is probably our pathway to the Pearl, but boy, like I said, skipping Aga here is going to be a huge time save, if it's possible. Ooh, he's at a half a heart right now. He's going to have to be really careful. Just 1 more room to get through. The next room will have some hearts that he can steal. He's got a hook shot, so yeah, just play this safe. Right. Whoop. Palms are sweaty a little bit here with half a heart and a guard poking you. Oop, yeah. Don't get batted. All right. I've never been so nervous. Oh, oh my gosh.
All right, he's got the 1. Now he's got the other heart.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Oh, if he takes a death on a
got him right at the end. Oh man, there was 1 more heart in the side pot that he could have grabbed there, but he got sniped by the ball and chain. Oh, that's unfortunate, man.
If this is not Aga required, that is gonna be brutal for Yoho. But let's see, 7 items in Paradox Cave. Bombs, heart container.
This is Randomizer, but, you know, Aga's not exactly something you do all the time in Randomizer, and Fighter Sword Bootless Aga is something you never do in NMG, pretty much. There's the Pearl over in Paradox Cave.
Okay, so still means Aga, but...
Whoa! Those are the mints! Oh my gosh, that is huge!
That is huge, and that means... Aga's on life support right now because of the hammer is like on inside the pyramid fairy based on what our 5-6 crystals are.
Wow, man, this is what a trash and volatile seed this is. Good lord. Hey, here is a cape, a sword, a hook shot, the flippers. Oh my god, how could you not do Aga here? Especially, and then you didn't have the Zor money to get the glove? Oh lord. Well, this is really unfortunate for Yoho. It looks like not only is he going to get baited by an Aga seed, he's going to get baited by doing Aga Tower twice.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, that pretty much opened up the world for Thalane.
Yeah. Bombos and Ether. Man, this Death Mountain was loaded. At least on the light side. Thing is that with that Titan's Mitts and Moon Pearl being on the mountain, you can go ahead and combo the dark side as well.
Yeah, I always forget to do that one. That one always gets me by surprise whenever you get your, you know, Dark Death Mountain access on Death Mountain itself.
Alright, well, how many blue balls do we think the old wizard's gonna throw at a turtle?
Give him 0, alright? We don't need to add insult to injury here. Aga, please be kind. Also, more importantly, don't get hit by any of those blue balls. I think they will kill you.
We know they'll hurt.
I think they do 1 hearted damage, so... Hey, there's a fire rod, so literally everything up here.
Yeah, the fire rod was the same exact place as that last seed, but 1 blue ball there. Oh.
He's doing a good job. Basically, if you kind of stand either directly to his left or right, you pretty much don't get hit by those blue balls as long as you time your spins right. That looked like a pendant over at Turtle Rock, and
Also,
our 5-6.
Yeah, Thieves Town and I think Swamp.
I'm so proud of you right now because I had no idea what they were. I was just about to ask you.
Well, thank you. However, that does mean Aga is dead because if Swamp is one of the 5-6, well, Swamp and Thieves Town being the 5. Our tracker's saying it's Skullwoods. Oh,
Hey, there's a mirror. Oh my lord.
Man, Death Mountain up. All 3 medallions, Moon Pearl, Titansmiths, and Mirror. Death Mountain was the play.
Man, this is interesting. I like how we have all 3 medallions right now, and Misery Mire and Turtle Rock are pendants. That is just classic randomizer. I'm watching Thalane over here. I'm looking over at Yoho, and I see we still have an Aga fight going on. So, looks like those blue balls weren't kind. Looks like we had 6 of them. Good lord, that's unfortunate.
Wow. Interesting that Thalane decided to go ahead and check Hera as well, which I think kind of makes sense, because the thing with Death Mountain is you always are going to have a time sink having to go back up the mountain, and it's just a piece of heart on the pyramid ledge. Yoho is not happy.
So now he has to go to Zora and figure out the best way to get money. It looks like he's kind of thinking about that right now. I mean, he only needs 5 rupees, so we could definitely go execute some more crabs. Hey, there's one.
Oh! Thalane forgot that he had the mirror equipped and mirrored himself when he didn't need to.
Interestingly enough, I think if he actually keeps killing red guards, he would get a red rupee. I think that's the prize pool for those right now, but doesn't matter. He just needs 1 more, so he will go get his glove from Zora, and oh, it's gonna be. I mean, he doesn't even have to go to Death Mountain right now. He might, but he. Well, never. I take that back. He's gonna get a glove. He has to go to Death Mountain because the pearl's up there. So ignore everything I said.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've only seen 1 item in Hera.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there. Like, just don't even go to Death Mountain because it's going to be nothing but disappointment when you get there and realize you do Aga 1 for nothing, but he's going to have no choice, so...
Alright, someone was asking for my Zora poem earlier, so, you know, we've searched all over Hyrule Country. The seed is making Yoho angry. Yoho, don't fret. Progression you'll get. Just give the Zora all your money.
When did you write a poem? We've been doing commentary the whole time. When'd you have time for this?
Oh, I've had these backed up for a while.
You just got a poem for all of the terrible situations just kind of on hand. You're like, what could go wrong in this seed in the future? I'm going to write this down.
It's mostly just for Zora for filler. Speaking of which, Trolled Arms down, 50 bucks, and pendant for Thalane.
So, gonna go ahead and do the iconic get glove, check back of escape for 20 rupees and 3 bombs. Now, at least Yoho will have an opportunity to make up some time on Thalane. You can go ahead and elect not to do Hera. I wouldn't say that's a crazy gamble by any means.
I mean, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the thing of every time you try to go up the mountain, you're going to inevitably lose time because of just the amount of time it takes to climb it. So I kind of I personally like what thalane did in terms of, you know what, I'm here. Let me get as much done as I can in one climb. But you know, there is kind of that value in, as we just said, there was nothing there, so it really is just a matter of, is pedestal going to come into play, and if not, that's time lost on Thalane's part.
From a kind of a meta standpoint too, at least maybe gaming your opponent, if you do think that your execution is, you know, a little bit better than them, you don't like to leave them any outs to get an advantage over you. So if you feel like, you know, you are executing at a pace to check more stuff than, you know, they're able to skip, then you basically kind of put it in their hands to kind of skip the correct locations to save enough time to beat you. So he's basically putting it on his opponent to beat him rather than, you know, him beating himself. Of course, that could be just a really complex thought process. He might have, you know, knowing thalane, he could have just not realized Hera was a pendant. I mean, you never know with this guy.
Well, he's got the fire rod and a sword, so he's on his way to go kill him off.
And this isn't exactly the freest moth in the world. 6 hearts, green mail. I think we have a green potion. That definitely helps out a lot.
I think it was just a red. I just saw it on Thalane's menu.
A red? Well, I would rather have a green than a red here, but I mean, it'll keep you alive longer, but that's a lot of fighter sword slashes.
Yeah, I think it was red was the one in the well, and an empty one was at Uncle.
Well, we'll just have to have a pretty good moth fight here. So by no means is this a free fight. I'm pretty excited to see what we're going to see on his end. Yoho is inching closer to his inevitable disappointment of knowing that AGA 1 was not required. And he did a good job there conserving his magic. Having a half bar of magic's pretty good, especially with no boots, because those Gibdos can really bully you. He did get the free spin on Moth at the beginning, and boy, that looked really close there, but that was a clutch dodge.
He's doing good so far.
Man, he must have eaten his Wheaties today. These are some clutch moves right now. I'm liking this fight.
Oh.
Hey, don't make me a liar now.
Alright.
That was a fantastic fighter sword, Moth.
Very nicely done for a piece of heart and the first crystal of the game.
Okay, Yoho got his pearl. He is leaving.
Which means he's gonna miss out on his fire rod and his mirror.
Ouch. It's not surprising to do. Again, it's a very weird thing to think about. You're just thinking, like, I was just looking for the pearl. He got his mitts too. In combination with the tilt, I don't know, man. I see people forget Dark Death Mountain all the time in this situation when you get the items like that. It's going to be unfortunate for him, though.
Well, the one thing that helped... Well, okay, so let's think about this. Mothula didn't have anything in the back, so, you know, worst case scenario, you do the front, which is what he's probably about to do. He can still get Thieves Town done. Ice Palace is on the docket, but he can't go in because of not having Bombos. Swamp, he can't get in also. But without Hammer, right now you can only do the first one. So there's things that Yoho can do right now, but with Fire Rod and Mirror both being on Dark Death Mountain, like, it's one of those things where I kind of feel like he's not gonna get hurt unless he finds something else that basically takes him further away from it.
Yeah.
Sense at all.
It does make sense. I think something, I mean, I don't know how much this will play in the seed either, but if we really want to overanalyze something that we probably shouldn't because it doesn't have to do with anything, these are my favorite things to do. With Fire Rod, Bombos, and Mirror up there, those are like all of the items that put the hammer in really crappy spots that we just found in the Skullwoods Big Chest, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignore my thoughts and be like, hey, did you see that hammer in the Skullwoods Big Chest?
But that will open up... That opens up Swamp for Thalane, where Yoho is still stuck without the mirror. And actually, I just forgot, with that hammer, Ice Palace would have been, only partially completable. But that also means, for certain, Aga was not required at all.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, yeah, you were definitely right on the money when you saw your 5/6 was at Swamp, that there was no way this was going to be an Aga seed. So.
Well, it was... Oh yeah, apparently it was Swamp. And we got early Riot Shield.
So if you want to be talking about Go Mode right now, we could theoretically be, at minimum, 2 items away from Go Mode, at max, I guess 3.
Go Mode?
Well, it's missing the sword, of course. I never count the swords because they're always in GT, come on.
Bow Mode, Boots maybe, and then either Flute or Book. So 2 for certain, 3 maybe.
Those bows are real pesky in the V31 seeds. That has been something my playthroughs have been telling me, man. I haven't had silvers for a Ganon fight since this frickin' patch came out. I don't know what they did to them. I never find those things.
I have seen them.
Nah, I don't believe you. They don't exist. I'm sure of it.
Alright.
We'll go by our own recency biases with the silvers and the prize packs. It'll be fine. We can live in our own worlds.
Sure.
Hey, there's the Ice Rod.
So we missed Ice Rod in the front of Thieves Town. Which, again, Turtle Rock's dependent, so of course it's in an easy location.
Where do you think the other 2 Ice Rods are?
They're on Koholint. How about that?
That's fair. I'll accept it. Oh, that hammer in the big chest of Skull Woods made this pretty fluid for Thalane, and again, just compounding, routing things that are just blasting Yoho right now. He didn't do the Dark Death Mountain, so he did not get his Fire Rod, which probably made him not go to Skull Woods, which is going to make him not get his hammer. And then he didn't have to do Aga 1, but he did it anyways, and then he died upstairs, so he had to do it twice. This is getting a little out of hand.
Now, looking at Yoho's menu, we have not found map and compass yet, so Yoho, by item placement, could still get bailed out by the hammer not being needed.
If you stick a required item in the big chest, like, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for Yoho, just, like, send help, because that's just unfair.
Well, we will know when Thalane gets there. Or if Yoho pulls the next item from the Maiden Cell. Well, it was a compass, so we'll have to wait for Thalane.
Oh, you said they don't have the map is still missing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, maps in one of the two places, and the other items in the other one.
Yoho, a little low health here. Does have some... I think he still has his red, so he's got the cape as well. That's a great safety on blind.
No, he used it in the attic.
Alright, so we still have the cape. It's fine. You know, you don't have to be so detrimental all the time, Jax. I'm just joking.
I call it like I see it.
No, that you're actually the one paying attention here, so I probably shouldn't be so critical.
Alright. Is
Oh, this-
Yoho about to be screwed even more than he already is, unfortunately, at this point? No, he's not!
Just the map. Alright, that's nice to know. And that was an excellent blind fight by Yoho there, so you definitely didn't have to, you know, be so mean to him there, Jax. He did a fantastic job.
He did a good job.
Thalane will be doing this blind fight with basically the exact same circumstances, 4 hearts and green mail. Except he'll be doing it with music, only because we get to hear it. Doing pretty good on this scripted blind fight. Yeah, another fantastic fight. Both of them pretty much ending exactly on the same pixel there. Getting their single rupee. Now we got a dig game over here. That's an excellent right angle there. And an F, so get your Fs in chat for Yoho. I think it's very fitting. He definitely deserves them.
And just a big 20 from the digging game.
Flying getting the 100 in the first chess game. You know, I wish they would all... I want them to go back and make that always 100. That's the way it used to be. It was awesome. You could just farm so much money. So Thalane has some pretty cool options for him. I mean, if he wants to just go ahead and continue clearing things that are in front of him, I mean, you got all the swamp. We can go ahead and do that.
He doesn't.
You want to do... Thieves Town's done, Big Bomb, Ice Palace. I mean, he's basically got a full clear ahead of him, you know, until he's going to figure out where this bow is and where his desert access is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about Thalane. I thought you were talking about Yoho. My bad.
Yeah. Yoho... He's in an interesting position. I will say something that can benefit him right now. Pod looks really good for him, and it doesn't look as good for Thalane. So if he finds, say, you know, the bow over in Pod, he's pretty much good to go. I'm trying my best to look at positive scenarios here. The bow and Pod would be pretty good for him. Actually, that would be great. But he did save and quit here, so I actually think we're probably going to be going back to Dark Death Mountain, and he will go ahead and get his Fire Rod, Mirror, and both medallions.
Yep, that's where he heads. So... that really... I mean, that's gonna... He's still at a disadvantage right now because of the 2 Aga climbs, because he died on 1. But... at least it's gonna put him in a spot where he's gonna be kind of back on the right track in terms of where progression is.
Yeah. He will most likely go get his hammer from Skullwoods next. Actually, I'm not sure what he would do next. Maybe he'll go Hera too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna try and do any predictions on that one. I have no clue. Flane's gonna be just cleaning up basically everything over here in Village of Outcast, turning in the Smith. Probably will take the purple chest all the way down as well. And again, I wouldn't be surprised just to see him go straight into Swamp. I mean, you're already in the Dark World. You're already right there. I mean, heck, do Swamp, go do Big Bomb, go all the way to Catfish, Mirror, take the portal, go to Ice Palace. That's a pretty clean, effective hundo right there. So there's the Fire Rod over in Super Bunny again.
Yep. Both runners did do Thieves Town, by the way.
I mean, that just shows credit to how fast the lane's going right now. Even the tracker is struggling to keep up, and I don't blame him, dude. He's blazing right now. For no boots, he's moving at a pretty good pace. Alright. That is the Mirror in Hookshot Cave. What do we got next from Mr. Yoho? Looks like he was thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. Sees that Ether is for Thieves Town, but without the hammer can't open it. Or Turtle Rock, not Thieves Town.
I mean, you know something else that he could do here too? Whenever he gets that hammer in Skull Woods, he could just cheese it to Turtle Rock. I mean, if you're feeling behind, that would definitely be a play to make.
Maybe. I would probably still do the crystal dungeons that are in front of me.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but I mean, it is swamp, it is ice. It's like the two dungeons that just take forever to do when you're looking for items, and they're so fast when you're not.
I mean, that's the thing with this being a best of 3. I mean, that's essentially the question you're playing there is, okay, do I go ahead and go with the gamble that the one thing I need is in one of these pendant dungeons, to try to like pull one out, but if not, then you live to fight another day in the second race.
Thalane doing the cool tech here, turning in the purple chest without the purple chest, getting 300 bucks. Not realizing like how important that 300 would have been if we would have got that a little, I don't know, earlier.
And Thalane is gonna head to Swamp.
And like, I mean, Yoho, he's definitely going to feel behind too because of his death on Aga Tower. He might not necessarily, I mean, he knows that Aga Tower was skippable, but assuming that your opponent skipped him, I wouldn't say is necessarily guaranteed. I mean, it is in this seed because Thalane did, but I think given the items and how bad the money was, he probably wouldn't be surprised if, his opponent still did do Aga, but he would probably be surprised if they died. So he's still going to feel behind.
Yeah, that would that kind of makes sense. Hopefully we'll get a chance to interview them and kind of see what their thoughts were.
Lane staying clean with his routing here, going right over to Swamp. Hey, getting the mushroom.
Fetch quest.
All right, we got the blue boomerang, the ice rod, the mushroom. The hash is complete. Is that when you dot done, whenever you get all the items in the hash? How does this work?
I think it's when you beat Ganon.
Oh! Okay, well, never mind then. Thalane's gonna have to keep exploring in Swamp. He's not done yet. And Yoho is heading over to do Moth. You'd think doing, all the way of Thieves Town and Hype Cave and all that stuff that he would have maybe a little bit better equipment for his Moth fight, than when Thalane did it so early. He doesn't right now. It's still pretty low item, low health. Ooh, and this is exactly what you want. You're trying to save magic here, but you gotta be quick or else those Gyptos are gonna bully you, and they're gonna do 2 hearts of damage with green mail, so that's a lot of hearts you just lost there. And...
gotta be... oh!
yeah.
Oh!
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. I mean, I did not qualify for the group stages, but honestly, if I got Bombos, I just Bombos those Gyptos.
Oh no, that's actually a great strategy. Ether is even faster than Bombos. It still kills them in 1 hit. It costs 2 shots of Fire Rod magic, and you literally don't have to worry about them getting in your way or eating one. Using Ether there is perfectly fine. No one will judge you. I promise. At least I won't.
Hey.
Because, yeah, this is where it's, when they get over in this corner, you can't hit both of the torches with 1 shot because it's going to hit the Gibdo or the Wall Master, and then you end up using your Fire Rod shots anyways, and now he can't light this torch, and he's out of magic. Just use Ether.
Yeah. You feel bad for Yoho, though, because as we find Halfkin magic in Swamp Palace...
Thalane, stop being a bully and rubbing it in over on the other side. God, what a jerk, dude. We're gonna
But
have to give him a stern talking to after this.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, we've all been there. You've been in that that one race where you've done these things so many times, and yet, you know, you take an unfortunate death while you're trying to like preserve a potion, and then you've got to be careful with your magic, and then you run out of magic, you know, trying to complete you know, torch puzzle. Like it sucks, but we've all been there.
Do you remember where the big key was in Skullwoods? Was it in the front?
Yeah, it was. I think so.
I cannot remember. Well, I hope it was in the front, so... At least that would be the maximum amount of damage control for this. If it's in the back, this is just, again, compounding just rando situations that, you know, you can get punished in this game.
Meanwhile, Thalane is using menu simulator strats. There was the big key.
Okay, that's good. He'll at least get his hammer.
Thalane doing very well to get 2 puffballs out before doing a hammer swing to try to take care of those as fast as he can. Now just going for sword spins. And I'm gonna pull up the fire rod to take care of the big eyeball. Oh, so close on that quick kill.
Yeah, getting that. I think you can actually get 4 fire rod shots in them. I think you can. Oh, hey, there's our master sword. That's one of the pieces of the puzzle we were missing.
Yep.
The fighter sword are worse quick kills. I think best with the ice rod there, just because you can have multiple projectiles on screen. Just kind of literally just sit there and spam ice rod shots into him, and you can usually get 4 in before he lifts off. It's also really fun.
Well, Yoho...
Ooh, that's an overworld death there.
Yeah, Yoho at least has the hammer, so we're good there. Thalane, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and head back in and check the left side.
You can just really see the frustration kind of sinking in on him every time he, you know, takes that short pause after these mistakes. I mean, it might just, you know, be cooling yourself off, but man, you never know where your opponent is. They could be struggling just as much as you. They could have made a terrible mistake, so it ain't ever over till it's over, so... And I've really been struggling at paying attention, so I have no idea how many items are left in Swamp, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's a number greater than 1 because he is going back in to check it. And it looks like Yoho will be doing Swamp right behind Thalane too. Well, getting to that point in the seed, Jex, what chest in Turtle Rock do you think their go mode's going to be?
I mean, if we're gonna play Troll Laser Bridge, but I mean, again, like we're basically just waiting on a bow, either a book or a flute, and maybe some boots if we need them for desert.
Oh, we're gonna need those boots. You always need those boots. I actually do think with the key placement, it's like 50-50 whether or not you need them, so... But I feel like every time I'm playing this game, that math is a little obscured. I don't know how it ends up being 100%, but... Logically, it should be about 50-50. There's 2 heart pieces on left side, so we didn't need to do that today.
Thalane gonna go do Big Bomb, which would make sense. You would do Big Bomb while you're in Dark World, and then you probably would just head over to Ice Palace from there.
Yeah, his routing has just been so clean right now, and like he's getting all the items just basically in front of them to do like, you know, his next step. So he's just really just following everything along. He didn't kill Aga, so I was about to say, well, Yoho will be able to save a little time by turning in the Big Bomb, for what it's worth. But yeah, I would expect him to do Big Bomb, and then he's going to check Pyramid. He can even go combo this with turning in the Mushroom, do Catfish, and again, once he's done with Catfish, the portal is right there just to take him to Ice. It's super clean. Someone suggesting thalane should go kill Aga to make this Big Bomb faster. I think so too.
Alright, what do we got? Green potion and a bow!
Ooh, that's a big item.
So, about that Ice Palace, let's hold off on that for a little bit.
I don't know, man. He might still do what he's doing. I'm not... That might be a little bit of a wrinkle. It looks like we are heading over to Pod. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, you've got more items. You find, you know, if flute or book are there, you try to hope that you can just go mode Ice Palace. I mean, I would be doing what Thalane's doing right now. Now, we have seen Eastern, so we know nothing is in there.
I think there is an item on Armos. They got the map and compass so early in Eastern. I remember noticing that.
Okay. Chat was asking earlier about if this was fast canon, and it's not. So, the way that the group stages go, it's a best of 3. Race number 1, race number 1's is open, just as it was in the qualifiers. Race number 2, the loser gets to change one of the settings from race 1's setup. And then if it gets to a game 3, then the loser of game 2 gets to change one other setting after that.
And it's not just any setting. We do have basically a tiny script of all of the settings that, you know, they can pick from. Basically, you can go from defeat Ganon to fast Ganon. They can make it, instead of 7 crystal, you can do 6 crystal. You can switch from open to standard. And I think you can switch from just a normal map compass positioning to map compass shuffle, which doesn't put maps and compasses in the dungeon. They can be anywhere, and then you also don't get the information of the maps. And I think that's it.
And as someone in chat is also telling us, they can also undo the change that was done in the second race.
And for the most part, pretty minor changes. Switching from open to standard just seems hilarious to me. But I mean, a lot of people have done it. They just like doing their standard. You get your weapon early. Is it always a sword? No, I think it's just a weapon.
No, it's still randomized. Now, one of the settings could be assured sword, which...
Oh, that's right. Assured. Okay.
Now, that has changed in V31, where you just get the sword. It's not on Uncle.
That's right.
Chat also pointing out that one of the changes is that there's a new mode where instead of like key sanity, where all of the dungeon items are shuffled, it's just the maps and the compasses. So it's kind of a key sanity light, where you don't know what the dungeons contain, but you know the keys are in those dungeons, so you're not having to like constantly look for those.
Yeah, I think we just go to map compass, so I don't think we're gonna do any key sanity in this one. But man, I don't know. I should probably look at the rules, given that I'm playing in this tournament. I don't know. You just play the seed in front of you. We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I like key sanity, but I can see the attraction in just it having a mode where it's just the map and compasses that are shuffled.
I mean, the biggest, you know, thing right there is you add 2 extra items in every dungeon, so it can push a little bit more weight to, you know, be a little bit more dungeon heavy exploring. And then it also adds the intangible of, you know, it's like, I'm in go mode if Trinex drops a crystal, which he'll drop a pendant every time. But it's an interesting mode. I don't dislike it at all.
Now, the map and the compass still play by key sanity rules, so when you find the map, you will know what your what the dungeon holds.
Yes, and then the compass actually does a neat little thing, which you only see in key sanity. It also lists the amount of chests that are in the dungeon and how many you've opened. So, you know, no more forgetting the vanilla big key chest and pot or something like that. Yoho will be taking a trip over to Left Side Swamp as well. He'll get 2 heart pieces for his efforts. And I've not seen a book or flute over in Pod yet.
Nope.
We still have Helm's Sword of Kirill. Have not been checking whether or not we've gotten the map or compass, but it's okay. I know we'll at least still have 1 item in this area from Armos. I'll bet you on that one. I'm pretty sure of that. Probably shouldn't say that. I'm going to be wrong now.
Yep, there's an item on Helmasar.
Okay.
Because the layout of Pod, we can't put a small key on him, so the fact that we have all 3 other dungeon items means there's a normal item there. Oh, hey, look! 3 mimics dropped the 3 rupee colors of the 3 pendants.
You know what that means. We have to go to Pedestal, even though it's impossible. No, wait, it could be Boots. Just kidding.
It could be Boots.
Yeah, no one will ever ignore the mimic prophecy. It's always true. Boy, that would be something. I've heard of people reading the logic, but reading the mimic drops. That'll be the day. Okay, good for Yoho. He's following up with Big Bomb as well. He'll be getting his bow. He will probably take that over to Pod also. Again, he has also the option to turn in his mushroom as well. I'm pretty sure he got the mushroom, because I think that was the first chest of swamp. Yeah, you could have skipped it, but then, you know, maybe he'll find his go mode a little quicker than thalane. And look at this incredible time save by using this portal that he created doing Aga. So he's just flying.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying. So he mirrored, and I don't think that was a good idea because now his bomb is gone, which just made him lose his bow. And
yeah, that's not good. There's no spinning that. That was not good.
And then he save and quit in the dark world. Oh man.
Oh, you just got a feel for Yoho right now.
Huh. I wonder what had happened there. Maybe he just accidentally hit his controller.
It happens.
Maybe he threw it across the room. I mean, I would not, you know, think any of those things were, you know, disrespectful at all. Just do it. Ooh. Well, it's all right. Dust yourself off. Let's do it again. And I want if he's going to get Big Bomb again, I want everyone to focus on how fast it is to take that Big Bomb through that portal that Aga created. It's incredible. Thalane is finishing up Armos Knights here, basically clearing out everything in this area, except for maybe turning in the green pendant later. Which for his case, I most certainly hope we don't see him do, because that means we will need those boots and they're in a terrible spot. All right, you got this, Yoho.
All right. Now he's gonna get his bow.
You know, something else that's benefiting Yoho right now is that his timer. It seems that the hour mark is actually just faded off, so he's actually rolling over to 7 minutes and 40 seconds. He's in the lead.
I think SRL will have something to say about that.
Come on, give him a chance.
All right, how about? I hate Siri on my watch. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Siri, is Yoho in the lead with 8 minutes, or is it 1 hour and 8 minutes?
All right, so Eastern Pod combo done for Thalane, and I don't think he meant. Yep, just mirror positioning forced him to go into Pod again.
Actually, looks like he's just gonna keep on strutting his way over to Mushroom and Catfish. Oh, I hate this walk so much. It feels so wrong to do this. You could time these out one of these days. What do you think's faster? Walking this way, mirroring, and then going down and taking the portal? Saving quitting from Link's house, going from Swamp? I got no clue, man.
Honestly, I haven't timed all of these, so I would not have the answer for you. Again,
I'm sure somebody out there has.
I was at least I was at least proud of myself that I at least got in the 170s in the qualifier, but I don't optimize like some of these top runners do.
Well, don't worry. A lot of the top runners don't optimize either, so don't worry about that.
So apparently Thalane is going for Graveyard Ledge, which is honestly the one thing I would have not expected him to do. Like, I was thinking that was either Catfish or going to Ice, but sure, we could do Graveyard Ledge.
I think it's both, actually. I actually thought he had already came over here, so...
No, when he did his bumper check, he then left and went for Thieves Town at that point.
I love this route, too, anyways, to do Graveyard Ledge with Catfish. It's a little item dependent, because you always have to have, you know, the hook shot and the flippers to do it, or else you can't get back. I mean, I guess you could bomb jump back. But it's nice too, especially when you have the mitts, because if you, you know, didn't have boots and you wanted to check bonk rocks, you can do it all in the light world, so it feels better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, look, that hour came back. Oh, you can also do a mushroom check. We forgot about that.
Yeah. Go ahead and turn this in.
Gonna do a mirror bonk to speed it up.
Those weird old mirrors, man. Kind of letting you spawn on one side of it or the other side of it, so...
You just have to think fourth dimensionally, Yak.
No, I've seen the show Stranger Things. I don't like going to the minus realm. We'll be doing Catfish, and then, yeah, I think this might just be Mirror and the Ice Palace, and then we're inching closer. Which chest in Turtle Rock do you think it's going to be in?
Well, let's see what Catfish has. And yeah, Thalane's setting up that it's going to be garbage. Which it's not.
I'll go ahead and take that. That's not bad for the trip over. Wow, that's even incredible to have for Ice. Zippered saves so much time in Ice Swamp and even Mire.
But into Ice we go.
I think the greatest part about this is when he turned into Mushroom, he got all of his health back, so you can do that jelly room with sword beams.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way in my life I could ever walk from Pod to Ice Palace without, you know, being at 3 hearts by the time I got there.
Pen Gators certainly have bombs in their prize pack today.
Oh, was it all the bombs? Yeah, there's like a prize pack that's literally just only bombs. I think it's the same prize pack the big giant Stalfos Knights have here in Ice Palace. I don't know about that stuff though.
I do not either.
Good. Yoho following in Thalane's footsteps, gonna finish up Pod, I imagine. We'll go ahead and see him clean up Eastern as well. To his benefit, he hasn't been quite as thorough as Thalane has, but he hasn't missed anything so far. He actually has been pretty thorough, though. Yeah, the only thing he really hasn't done in the overworld, maybe Cave 45 and all that, just because he didn't have the mirror on his way down here, unless he did that with Swamp.
No, he didn't. There was a whole bunch of health in that Smith chain sequence that Yoho is missing at this point.
Yeah, that's right. And then Hammer Pegs too, because he didn't have that, didn't have the mirror. But hey, I mean, it's a time safe, you don't do it.
Interesting that Thalane decided, with having Kane and needing to full clear Ice Palace, decided to not bother with the Ice Palace bomb jump.
It's fine. Man, I think in some weird cases it can be a little bit faster. And to make it even a little bit more fringy, he got a map in the first chest, so you kind of feel like you're going to be opening all the chests anyways, because it's unlikely you get all 3 items, so you're going to find the big key. But I don't know. I mean, that's definitely someone a little bit more smarter is going to have to figure out whether that's a good idea or not.
I think this is the one instance where it is a good idea, because you have to, you're going to end up pretty much opening everything.
P-Train makes a pretty good point, too. He disagrees with it when you're 1 item from Go mode. However, not so fast. He could be 2 items from Go mode and not know it because he needs the boots, so he's going to check the chest anyways. Your move, P-Train.
I will say in P-Train's favor is that I have done a race before where I was 1 item from Go mode, got it, didn't do the bomb jump, and then was rudely reminded that, hey, since you decided to do this, you still have to full clear the dungeon even though you didn't. And there's 2 items there so far.
Siri didn't understand what you just told me, by the way.
I'm about ready to just take my wallet. I'm not joking. Like, every time I, like, put my hand in a certain way, my wrist just, like, presses the button, and that's what causes it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be sticking your fingers where they don't belong in Siri. Maybe that's why. Anyways, Thalane's doing Ice Palace. Let's see what's over in the iced tea chest. Hey, there's that big key. We needed that.
It's gonna be kind of important if you didn't do the bomb jump.
This is actually going to work out really nice for him. I mean, I think that this route was actually faster because it got him over to Ice Tea a little bit quicker. Well, he had 2 keys, though. Well, but he needed the other key. Yeah, so this works out just fine.
Cold
And
Stare
not even Samaria locked, so...
Nope, Cold Stare will have the 3rd item.
Not every day we get to see someone open that door, but today is a special day in the rando world. We get to open the big key door in Ice Palace. Yoho has cleaned up Pod, working his way towards Eastern.
Also got his timer fixed, so his hour is back.
Oh, he just lost an hour. He went through daylight savings time or something. I think Cold Stare will have an item here, so will this be the last item that we're looking for? Half Magic Tempered Sword. Side fight's pretty free, but you know, Greenmail, you can only take 3 hits with his health right now, and there's 1, there's 2, and we're safe. Boy, he looks so healthy, and you know, like a fight was free, and then all of a sudden he was almost dead.
Meanwhile, we gotta hunt for our desert access.
Yeah. Hey Siri, what chest in Turtle Rock is the progression gonna be in?
I'm not sure I understand. Alright, so jokes aside, we've got TR.
I think that's all he has left. He literally has nowhere else he can go. He's cleaned up all of the bottom. He has Spike Cave and he has Turtle Rock.
I think you're right.
And this is where it's hilarious when it's Spike Cave, when you do all of Turtle Rock and then you go over and do Spike Cave afterwards and you're like, well, gosh darn it.
So the only hope for Pedestal is boots, because you need the flute to get to Meyer to get the green pendant, which by proxy means you can get in and do desert if a key is not on the torch.
What's really interesting with, you know, just how this route's going to work out for him, man, if Pedestal is on boots and he needs them, it's really like not even a big deal for him.
No.
Because once you do all of Turtle Rock, and I imagine Spike Cave afterwards, and the only thing you get from it's a flute, you're going to go see if Desert's boot locked, and then when it's not, you're just going to go do Meyer. I think the tricky thing is, you know, if the flute is really early in Turtle Rock, like, you keep going? Probably not, you leave, but man, when the boots are there... Getting a little bullied by the Dead Rocks there. Taking 7 hearts of damage to get over to Turtle Rock. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is the bootless routing I expect.
Independent TR we go, as Ak has been hoping for all day.
It's here! I mean, it's here, Spike Cave. Now the odds are actually in my favor. And Yoho is on his way back to Skull Woods. He'll probably feel a little bit more confident with that half magic in hand. If I were him, I would blow off some steam and literally murder every single Gibdo in that room, just to let them know this is what happens when you mess with me. So maybe next seed they don't bully you as hard. Thalane getting the quick cycle on the hook shot there. Very impressive. That is just a key and a blue cane.
Not the blue thing we're looking for, though.
No, the thing we're looking for is actually red. And green. It's Christmas.
Ah, okay, I see.
Going to the Bow and Wow room here. Wow does an incredible Matumbo block there, so he switches over to the weak side on Bow, gets his big key. And Moth is dead from Yoho's side.
Still has to do Ice Palace, though.
He's exiting out here too, so maybe we'll see a graveyard check from him. He does have the option to take that over to Catfish to turn into Mushroom. He could be doing this with the Smith sequence and Hammer Pegs. He could take the purple chest all the way to Catfish. That's always fun. Cute little retro Shy Guy sprite.
Burn a key to get a key. I mean, with one item from Go Mode, you were checking that chest anyway.
Oh, always. You don't skip that chest here. Only a madman would skip that chest here. I know a couple people that have done it in this tournament. I am calling them out, so. Yeah, so we are going over to Graveyard Ledge. There was nothing in there. No God RNG on the Pokies. But this has been a premium seed so far. Basically do, you know, 6 of your 7 crystals with no boots, and then decide which pendant you want to dive with no boots, and then hopefully you find your Go Mode, which isn't the boots. We should make a boot start one of the selections next year. What do you think about that?
Maybe. I'm open to things. I'm open to
Hey, that's a book, and that is a choice for Thalane.
Do you leave and think you're in Go Mode, or do you keep diving for the boots? Is what Thalane's gonna do.
Yeah. And when I said a choice for boots, I meant we should make it like the start. They could choose not to have boots, and then we could automatically have like profiling for, you know, the weird people in this community who just don't like the boots. It's a Link to the Past randomizer data mining. So he's continuing on in Turtle Rock. He is not going to be trolled by the boots in TR. This is very aggressive. I mean, he probably got that book around 124. If he's going to go ahead and take this all the way to Turtle Rock, you can look at when his timer finishes when he kills Turtle Rock, and that could be like the amount of time that he loses from this choice.
That is if Yoho, when he gets there, decides to do the same thing.
Right, of course. But I mean, he doesn't know that, so from, you know, his perspective, he could be thinking, like, I just lost this amount of time. He could also just die in Laser Bridge, too. He's only got 2 hearts. Yoho getting his Tempered Sword.
Thalane is going to have to be careful. So, alright, Laser Bridge, what do we got? We got map.
That's the map.
We got a piece of heart. A full heart. And I guess that's it. Because you would have had a key, and I guess Compass must have been on Trinex.
Alright, so he elected not to bank boots being on pedestal, which I think is not an unsafe bet, considering he doesn't even have the flute. But that was about 1 minute and 25 seconds that, you know, he knows he might have lost there. So, it wasn't so bad there.
So I guess Thalane's gonna check Bombo's tablet on his way to Desert.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yoho is on his way. Looks like we're going to be doing a little Hera. He might just do Hera into Turtle Rock too. Or maybe Hera into Ice. I mean, I imagine if you're coming up here for Pendant Hera before your Crystal Ice, that you might as well do Turtle Rock with it.
Alright, Bombo's tablet. More sticks.
That could make things a little bit more interesting for him too, if he decides to kill Trinex and... Well then... Man, no one actually went over there. The lamp was in Agina's cave. Everybody had to go get that, basically, to do this seed logically, and he had no idea that those boots were there. So, good on him for bailing on Trinex. He didn't waste that time. You know, he would have known he was in go mode prior to finishing Laser Bridge, but that should do it.
Yeah, we just gotta find the big key. which is on the torch.
Oh, come on! Now you're just giving me chores to do. This is ridiculous. That was a nice correction there for his bomb jump. He didn't quite get the spin, but
So
he adjusted appropriately.
technically, on that check of that one chest, that put him into go mode, but we're just gonna say that at 1 hour, 27 minutes, 43 seconds, thalane is now in go mode.
Oh, flippin' Turtle Rock, man. Flippin' Turtle Rock. There was really no way to get up there early. I mean, yeah, you would have actually had to consciously make the decision to do Pinned at Turtle Rock over every single other crystal in the game. That was pretty much the only way to get over there.
Yeah. Because you had Mirror and Fire Rod in the Dark Death Mountain area, and Ether... I forget where it was. No, it was in Paradox Cave, because like all 3 medallions were on Death Mountain. So, well, and yeah, because Big Key was in the no. Okay, so here's the thing: you were gonna have to do at least a second dip of Death Mountain, because Ether, Titan's Mitts, and Moon Pearl were in Mimic or were in Paradox Cave. Then you had to go to Skull Woods to get the hammer, which was in the front, so you didn't need the fire rod. So no matter what way you shook it, you had to do 2 trips up the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. It could have been like Yoho would have been the only one who had the opportunity to kind of get close to like the superior Galaxy Brain route, because he didn't do Dark Death Mountain. And if he would have checked, the front of Skull Woods, gotten his hammer, and then been like, oh yeah, I gotta do those chests up there, and then been like, well, whatever, I'm here, I'll just go into Turtle Rock. That would have been the closest way to Supreme God route this, but you had a bow and Pyramid Fairy. It was pretty tough to avoid a full clear in this seed, and thalane full cleared probably the best you could have done. I mean, he just did everything in front of him. It was pretty seamless.
Thalane has done a very good job, and now that those Lambos are down, just has to get the compass and the 7th crystal. So there are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower Big Key can be in the basement of Ganon's Tower. If you want to play in our guessing game, you need to guess a number between 1 and 22. No bots still, so just put it in chat, and good luck if we actually remember your number. But act the Boker! What you guess?
Oh, my guess was 6. That was the 6th chest that the book was in Turtle Rock that led us to our go mode. Wait, what'd you say?
Huh? I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, 6. It was the book was 6 chests in Turtle Rock. We already did that. I thought we were playing the guessing game from the start.
Oh no, it's the GT Big Key there, but.
Nah.
Alright, so 6 is your guess. We'll go with that.
Alright. I'm being needlessly difficult, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And Yoho is in the right spot here. He'll be getting his book. I mean, I imagine he's just going to take that book over to Desert as well. No reason not to. So he'll be able to make up, a little faster Ice Palace, but unfortunately, just with how things go, it doesn't look like it's going to be nearly enough. Alright, dashing our way over. Get out of my way, Lionels. I got things to do. Thalane trying to take game 1 of this best of 3 series. Oh, taking a death there.
Ouch.
Man, when it rains, it pours.
I've been there, man. I've been there.
His health is really low too. In Randomizer, I mean, you're kind of used to having 15 hearts in both medals before you leave Kakariko and no items. I mean, they literally got like no items, no money, no health, no swords. The seed was very stingy to start.
Yep. All right. So number 1 was a small key, Rip Bob. Number 2, compass. Number 3, map. Number 4, small key. 5, money, dark magician.
Left and right style pretty much always guarantees that you will have a way to get over to the compass room.
6, single arrow. 7, shovel.
And this is where you're thinking to yourself, man, if this big key's over here, it's going to pay off so large because there was no small key over, and most people kind of end up going Hope Room first. They don't get the key. They just go kind of left all the way to Armos, leave this for last. Some people mirror back too. I don't know, man. Everyone does something crazy these days. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I just always go right, and if no key, go left.
And if anybody wants to go talk to Dwayne, you know, he's still in this tournament. He wrote a 16-page book on what GT route you should do and when you should do it. It's ridiculous. It's so extensive.
8 flute, 9 money, 10 bombs, 11 more cash.
Flute and GT, no surprise there. You kind of figured at least either the book or the flute was in here. I knew it was going to be one of them. It looks like Blaine was wrong on his GT routing theories for this one, so I think he's going to have to add a couple more excerpts to his novel. Right. Yoho is getting closer and closer to his go mode. Blaine is getting
12 cash. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm paying attention to nothing. Oh, the book wasn't even in Turtle Rock. It was Mimic Cave. I lied the whole time. It wasn't there.
I mean, technically, it kind of counts with Turtle Rock because you kind of need to go in there to get it.
I mean, if the Silvers were there, Ganon wouldn't say they were in Turtle Rock, and I know my boy Ganon's no liar, so I was mistaken.
Technically, that's true. Technically. 13, small key.
Dropping bombs. Heading over to Rando Room. They call it Rando Room because you only see it in Randomizer.
14 bombs, 15 silvers, 16 money, 17 more cash.
Wow, they really do exist. I can't believe it. And Yoho got his book walking over the desert. Oh, hey! I need those, maybe. We're getting up there in our chest here. You got 4 more here with Bob and Ice Armos, and then outside of that, it's everyone's favorite chest.
18. Cash.
Yoho has not finished Ice Palace yet, so after he finishes Desert, he will have to go and just basically go mode Ice Palace, so not so bad, and then he will be able to make his ascent towards Ganon's Tower.
Alright, 19 bucks, 20, 21!
Even more fitting that there was, you know, both of those 300s in the chest before it. You know, there's only so many of those in the prize pool, and money was very important in this seed. It was basically the difference of doing AGA and not doing AGA.
Alright, so we have a bit of a tie here. We had Elias had no, I just found it. Blackjack conveniently went blackjack. So congrats, Blackjack.
What is that? What kind of fortune teller nonsense? Incredible. And someone else just mentioned it too. I was looking at it like, where the frick are the mail upgrades? You got pedestal, 3 items in Mire. I don't think there was an item on Trinex. Ether tablet, Spike Cave, maybe 1 item left in Desert? Probably not though.
Yeah.
Or well, both of them upstairs.
Either way, randomization is done. You've got silvers, you got tempered sword. At this point, you're just mowing down enemies as you make your way through the gauntlet, and it's all execution from here.
I don't think he used his red potions, so he's still got that one in the bag, but, you know, no powder right now, so if you lose a lot of health here, there's not really the best way to get it back. Except the powder's probably just upstairs.
Very nicely done on Lambo 2.
So 1 cycle, all you can ask for. Moving our way up to Wiz Robes. Yoho is fighting the other Landmos.
Those rooms are always so satisfying, even though you've seen it like 300 times at this point.
No, definitely, man. I know when I first started watching it, it was like, what? What is this sorcery, this amazing speedrun tech they can do? You just never thought of that stuff as a kid.
What's funny is like, for the longest time that I've been doing rando, I've been able to do the first room. But I always was having problems with trying to get that block right for the second room, and I just have now started to kind of figure out how to get it, and I'm starting to get to that point where I can consistently do it, and it just feels so satisfying when you can do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And if, you know, any of the aspiring rando hopefuls out there still working on their game, there is a delicious practice hack you can do that basically allows you to kind of pick and reset the stuff at any of the rooms. You know, you spend some time on there, maybe one day you can have execution that's as good as Thalane's here. I highly recommend it.
Absolutely, and we also have a Discord channel that ALTTPR community is in, and certainly people are more than happy to help in terms of helping you get the pointers on how to do this, especially with this next room as Thalane's heading into the geometry test.
Yeah, the Discord's a great place to start too. It's basically an endless sea of knowledge of more than anybody could ever possibly want to know about A Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm. 2 doubles so far.
Agonometry. I like that. Ooh, not... a little too sharp on that one. That was a tough pattern though. Everything else has been pretty good though. So, yep. 4 cycle.
4 cycle, 2-2-1-1, Aga 2 is down, and it is time for the big pig.
And if he takes 1 hug from Ganon, he will die. No room for error. This fight's on pins and needles. Did you know that you can't hum while you're holding your nose?
I can do it.
Siri! Can you actually hum while holding your nose, or was he cheating us? I ain't believing it until I get face cam, so you're not fooling me. Alright, that was a great 1-1 from him, so he's at the brink of taking the early 1-0 victory from Yoho. Just gotta keep it on the court here. Ganon's trying his best to do the equalizer by eliminating the all the edges of the floor. Silver's is his one true weakness.
And 4 skewers in the pig, and we're done. Ooh,
This looks very set up for a triple, and that should do it.
And he got it.
GG's to Thalane.
Just gotta wait for the fanfare to finish, walk through the door, and Thalane finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 28 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. And that is win number 1 for Thalane in this group stage.
Yeah, that's one step closer for him. But has he joined us? Hey, Thalane, how's it going? GG.
Hello, GG.
Hello.
Man, this year is so silly. I don't even know where to start. I think half of it, like, I laughed because things were getting ridiculous. For example, these dead rocks on my way, I think, to T-Rock or something. And on the other hand, it was like the most boring scene I've played in forever, because it was like, okay, just do, you know, everything that's in your way and get all the crystals, and then after that, if you're not in go mode, just do T-Rock and that's it. So I don't know.
I mean, the thing with this race was the big difference. Well, there were 2 big differences. One, Yoho got baited by Aga and actually died while trying to do it, and then meanwhile, you know, once you get Titan's Mitts and Moon Pearl in Death Mountain, you know, you kept going and got all of the stuff in Dark Death Mountain, and Yoho didn't, and it just kind of, to your point, it just kind of set you up where you had so much stuff and so much to do. Yeah, I can certainly understand kind of where your thoughts are with that.
Yeah, I mean, with Aga, first of all, I really thought hard about doing it too, but then, you know, I set myself up so I still have the Zora area left if I don't get the stuff. Where did I go? Like in Hyrule Castle and on South Shore, because I did it like kind of reverse, right? And then I thought, okay, let's see. I just hope I get money, or, you know, like Moon Pearl or something up here while I'm here without money. But then Waterfall Ferry had like $300, and I was like, man, I'm like 5 short. What do I do? And then I was kind of happy that I checked the stun price like a minute before that or something. And then I figured, okay, I mean, this is last location, so might as well just farm these like 5 or 7 rupees or whatever that they were.
What do you think was the minimum amount of money you could have had where you would have tried to farm money for Zora opposed to just saying, screw it, I'll go to Aga? What was the magic number for you there, do you think?
Probably around 490 or something. I don't know.
It's been like whatever.
Yeah, I would not have stayed forever. I know.
It was really interesting. I mean, he didn't even have enough money when he got there either, because after he did Aga, it was only a heart piece on Pyramid.
I mean, I think I collected a bunch of like 5 rupee drops from enemies on my way, because I was like, man, if it's Zora, you kind of want to, you know, have as much money as possible. You cannot do Hooligan yet, right? No gloves. I had flippers already, but also like no boots, and I don't think there's another setup for this. I'm not sure though. So I was like, man, better pick up everything you can get and then see how this goes. Like in retrospect, I should have even collected the 5 rupees in that rupee room in Eastern Palace, by the way, like behind the big key door. But I kind of forgot, I guess. So yeah. that was still kind of lucky.
You had actually gone into Eastern a little bit earlier too, so at that point, like, it still didn't quite seem reasonable, and I think you only had like maybe 70 rupees or something at that point, so it's like, well, what's 90 do for me? You know, it got kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't have that much. I remember I still wanted to buy some bombs after Eastern, because I only had like 2 bombs the entire time. I was like, man, can't do Hyrule Castle without a weapon, like without bombs or anything. Cannot do South Shore, you know, so I went and did Dam and Agana, and I was like, man, if there's like no bombs, no rupees, I just go over to Eastern and do that instead. So, like, where do you go, right? You just have
yeah, it was, you were so dead on your route just because you had like no materials to even do anything. Were you at all a little upset that you didn't bother to go check the desert ledge prior to checking Agina?
Not
I mean-
really. Like, every time I do Agana this way, I feel like, or I think about it, I'm like, man, should I go and check it? But then, the chance is so low that there's something like super important, so it's kind of whatever. I mean, what did it lose me? Like 2 minutes? I'm
About a
okay with
minute and a
that.
half, if that. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
timed it.
mean, yeah, with Bombo's tablet though, it's probably about 2 minutes, I think. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's true. I forgot about that one.
And then again, like if I just bailed out of T-Rock and then we needed boots and they're back in T-Rock, I would have been like, man, this is this is silly, right? Like you don't want to come back if you're like 5 rooms away from Laser Bridge and
Yeah.
Trinex just takes forever. So I was like, nah, I'm good on that. Whatever.
Oh, did he have an item still?
Yeah, he had one.
Oh, okay. I thought he just didn't have an item.
Nah,
But whatever.
nah. I already felt that I like checked way more than enough. Like played super safe. So
So when there's only 3 items left, that's when you start skipping.
no, but like I don't know.
No, it was a completely reasonable play. I'm always joking.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's these weird kind of reasons that go through your head while you play. It's not always the things that make 100% sense or something. So I don't know.
If anything,
I
I
think it was
thought the real reason to kill Trinex there would have been to like go over to Spike Cave. That would have been it. Not even necessarily for the Trinex item, but just to get you back up there.
Yeah, that's actually true.
It was pretty silly though. But your routing was super clean though. I mean, you really it gave you kind of, all of the items just to keep doing everything in front of you. You basically did the whole entire dark loop and all of the overworld and dungeons in one go.
Yeah, when I finally save and quit after like Ice Palace, I was like, man, when was the last time you save and quit? That was like before you even bring Darkwood.
I think you're right actually, because you basically just did Skullwood, Thieves Town, everything.
Yeah, this was like an hour or something until I like last save and quit, and you're always having these weird thoughts like, man, what if my game breaks or something, and then you lose all that progress.
Tell me about it. But I mean, I think it couldn't have been more efficient or quicker. I mean, without skipping. So you definitely didn't, I guess, give yourself any outlets to lose by not checking something. So it would have put all the pressure on him to make the correct plays.
Yeah, I think the only thing I kind of skipped or delayed at least was Graveyard Ledge. So let's say if Boots were in there and he just checked it immediately after Dark World access, that would have been kind of bad, I guess. But again, this is like such a low chance when everything else on the map is just green immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird though, right? Like the seat gave you nothing at the start, then you got a whole bunch of items, and then it was like, what was it, like boots and not boots, but bow and desert access left. So it was like, man, what do you do first, right?
Yeah, it was literally just bow and desert access, and bow, desert access, and hammer after you got off the mountain.
Yeah, and hammer was like basically the first location I went. So, and how do you not go Skullwoods in this scenario if you have Fire Rod and mid Dark World access? Who doesn't go to Skullwoods in that case? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, he didn't because he didn't do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, but that makes sense, I guess. I mean,
it's an easy thing to forget too when you kind of get your access over there, I think.
Yeah, I think this is just kind of, I'm not sure how much rando he played yet, but this is like something that got me off guard, like when I started out as well, like a lot of times. You like kind of find an item, but you already have a set route in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So like adjusting immediately, you see the mids and you're like, all right, Dark Death Mountain, let's go. Right? This is like kind of stuff you get used to. Also, shoutouts to Dunker's map tracker that helps a lot with these kind of things. So even if you don't think about it, I would just recommend run a map tracker on the side and see, hey, this area just went green, so maybe I should go and do this now.
Yeah, definitely helps for not forgetting stuff for sure.
The tracker even has bombs nowadays, so it's pretty good.
It's not hand drawn though, like that one I saw. So I like that one the best. The one that was made in paint. GG's. You got any settings that you're looking forward to play, or anything you don't want to play for your game 2?
Do I have to change something, or does he?
No, he's gonna change it. But I mean,
okay.
What's gonna make you most nervous before he gets in here and hears us? Even though he can probably hear us right now.
I don't even know. What can I even change? Like, I did not read anything, I think. Okay,
you can set it to pot shuffle. You can set it to sprite shuffle. You can set it to game shuffle, so you could play any of the Zeldas as long as they're 2D. That's all fair game.
I think the worst setting for me actually would be fast Ganon, because I'm really not a fan. I mean, it's not too bad, but I just don't like it, I guess. Everything else is kind of whatever. I think 6-6 plays in my hand a little bit, you know, because of like hovering and this kind of stuff. Not sure if you can do it.
Fast Ganon can get pretty interesting. I mean, a fast Ganon fight could be like decided on, you know, who's better at a low percent Ganon fight. But yeah, they all seem pretty minor to me, I guess. Not really anything that's going to change anything drastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like fast Ganon. But I'm kind of okay with every setting, I guess.
And I guess the hardest part about fast Ganon is like remembering you don't have to do GT. All right, well, if Yoho, you're not listening, I helped you out. Fast Ganon for game 2. I think he was being honest with us. I don't think he was saying that to psych you out.
I don't think it matters too much. I don't know.
Wow, the confidence! I love it.
No, like no matter what he changes, I feel the same as if we would just keep these settings, or you know, don't change or change. I don't know. It's
no, I completely understand.
It wasn't. It wasn't meant in that way.
No, I understand. I'm sure he understands too.
Yoho took an unfortunate death on Ganon.
Oh, something I want to add though, like I'm really happy with my menuing today, because usually when I play rando, every time I press start, like I think in my head, okay, you know, you go like 2 down, 1 right, and then it's like I go 2 down and then press start again. I'm like, man, now you have to menu again, and it happens so many times. I feel like this seed, it hasn't really happened like that much, maybe like twice or something, so that was really good. I enjoyed that. It was like a 240 menu time or something with the horror menu August too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. Yeah. That's
would you only have to menu like 3 times on the seed?
No, that's because of the bombs on the tracker.
It was the bombs that did it? Well,
yeah, it was the bombs. Because now I know, you know, go to right, 1 up.
Well, I guess if you guys want to nerf Thalane and how fast he is at this game, send angry DMs to Big Dunka on Discord and ask him to remove bombs from the tracker. That way we can add a minute to his menu time.
It's too late. I already downloaded it. There's no undoing this.
Well, I guess in that case, send DMs to Thalane and send him viruses so he has to get a new computer.
We might be getting a little extreme here.
Yeah, please don't do it.
I was just going over options. I didn't say you had to do it.
Yeah, sure. Meanwhile, Yoho's got Ganon down, so just gotta wait for said fanfare. We'll get him a time and get him in here. Hopefully we can help him out, but This Is Not Yoho has finished with an official world time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 13 seconds. GG's. GG's after that pain. GG's for sticking through and finishing that seed. And Yoho has joined us.
Hey.
How you feeling, man?
GG's.
Yeah, GG's the lane. I got very, very, very tilted after making the Aga play for nothing. And then, like, seeing the Mitts and seeing the Pearl on Death Mountain. Like, there were really three kind of options there I could have. It's either, okay, the Moon Pearl's on the Pyramid, the moon pearls on Zora, and like I didn't have money. I wasn't even like near farming. I would have had to go to like Kakariko to farm the basement of Blind's hut or whatever. So it was, those three options. Okay, pearls on Zora, pearls on the pyramid, or gloves on Zora. And obviously I got the worst one there. So, I don't know whether they were equal possibilities, but there were, I don't know. It sucked. And then dying in Aga. Like the seed was real bad early on, and I should be able to handle it, but it was ugh.
Yeah, early game was super bad. It was so easy to do Aga too. I don't know. I cannot blame you at all, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it gave you everything for it and then said, never mind. I've noticed that a lot more in V31 seeds, and I guess V30 seeds a little bit too. There were a lot of, here's the cape, here's the hook shot and the flippers, but here's your hammer and your gloves immediately, kind of thing. So,
yeah, it's always like, man, I have 2 locations left. What are the chances this is gonna be like hammer and gloves, right? And then you go there after again, it's like, oh, hammer and gloves, great.
Yeah. But then, after that,
I was actually really. Go ahead.
On. Okay, no, it's fine.
I was gonna say I was surprised Thalane didn't do it when he was in Escape. I'm surprised you just didn't double Death Warp and do Aga, especially because you got the hook shot in Escape too, and it was like, okay, I know what you're doing.
I still had so much left though. Like I had all of South Shore, all of the flipper checks, and I don't know, it just felt too risky to me, and I always kind of like to exhaust as much of Sphere 0 or 1 as possible, right? So didn't make any sense to me to do it at that point.
I guess it was glove lock now that I think about it. You're smart. Just kidding.
Was it though? I could
think
have flipped
so?
it. No, I could have flipped it around that weird route that never
Yeah,
happens.
the hook shot was glove locked.
I cannot even remember.
Yeah, because there was the sword in the first chest, so that was and bombs in the thing. Everything else was glove locked because no key. Yeah. I should have thought about that. I don't know why I think about that, hour 40 minutes later.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, you can go to the back kind of dumb key logic that's in Hyrule Castle.
Oh,
Okay,
see.
I didn't think about that
sense.
either, obviously.
Yeah, I think nobody ever does that.
No.
I mean, anything isolating Zora, you're just thinking like, oh, I'll just go get the pearl there after I do Aga. So you had to have been thinking like pearl was the next thing you get. So
yeah, well, I mean, it was like 2 out of 3 possibility there. So
yeah, no, it was definitely no bad call to do Aga there the whole time. I mean, heck, a lot of people would have done that before. They did South Shore, so don't worry about it.
But my execution was really bad in a lot of places, and that sucked. That cost me a lot of time too. I don't know. I'm about to play better tomorrow.
Hey, yeah, let's go.
Again, it's tough to do. It's hard to keep your, I guess, composure and all of that. And I mean, you did, keep everything together. You got through the seed. So, but yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is my first tournament match ever. Thalane's got a lot of experience. Got a lot of he's got a better time than me in NMG. He's got more experience in Rando and
he's
in
also a
tournaments.
bully.
So I said it.
No, that's you, Ag.
Look at your file name, you bully. Don't even start.
What?
Yeah, don't even.
All right. Well,
If that was your first tournament match, though, man, like, grats on your first showing. I mean, there's just a couple of hiccups here and there, but I mean, everything else looked really good.
There were a lot of hiccups here and there.
That's all right.
I don't know. I don't feel bad. I don't feel great about how I played.
well, the best thing is that you got another shot tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, any final thoughts from both of our runners before we wrap up shop here?
Just any idea what you want to change for tomorrow, or do you not know yet?
I'm not going to change anything.
All right, then.
If I'm going to beat you, it's going to be on these settings.
All right, you have to submit the settings sheet thingy, right? Because I think
yeah,
the
I think
loser has
so.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Nah, thank you guys for commentating and also OSS Geek for tracking, and everyone for watching. It was kind of boring, but also kind of fun. So I think it was okay. So thank you, and GG again.
Yeah, thank you guys for the restream, all the work, commentating, tracking, restreaming, all that stuff.
Well, thank you guys to both Thalane and This Is Not Yoho. I mean, you guys. I mean, it's still fun to watch you guys. Even if Talane's saying it was a boring steed, it's still fun to watch two runners race. So please be sure to give both of them follows on Twitch, OSS Geek, as we got the shout out of our tracker. Great job keeping track of all the items, and Ack the Boker. It's been a pleasure having you along the ride today.
Yeah, it was dude. Thank you for talking with me as well. Thank you for the runners for the great race. And I would just like to do a shout out to my absolute favorite commentator that I've ever had. Thank you to the Siri Watch. I had a pleasure chatting with you as well. It was a really fun race.
I feel like we missed something here.
Short version, my Siri Watch will activate based on how my wrist is. So yeah. So
that's actually great.
So yeah, Siri, my watch got taken off about halfway through the race. So anywho, we've got two races still going on right now: Speed Gaming 3 Sailor Net versus Humbug, Speed Gaming 4 Cassidy Moan versus Megawatt, and then tonight we have got full packed rando on the Speed Gaming channels. We've got at 8:20 on Speed Gaming 4, McLagan versus Ace Zero. At 8:30 on the main Speed Gaming channel, Ninbam versus Preer. At the same time on Speed Gaming 3, Trank versus Willard J. Bradley. And then at 9:30, we have a double header between Hitaka and Koi. They're going to do games 1 and 2 of their setup right after each other. We've got Chloe Prower versus Ose on the main Speed Gaming channel at 10:30 p.m. JP versus Frostbite on Speed Gaming 3. And then some guy named Ack the Boker is going to take on Lack Attack 24 at Speed Gaming 3 at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Thalane, I think you wanted to throw in another race that's coming up, I think, on the Speed Gaming Dutch channel.
Speed Gaming Deutsch, not Dutch. We're not Dutch here. We're German.
Arrogant American here. My apologies.
Yeah, nah, I'm just gonna play another match. And I thought I would throw that in against Annie on the German channel in like, 30-ish minutes or something. So if people are interested, can come over as well.
Well, with that, we do also have, Speed Gaming Francais, Speed Gaming Portuguese, Speed Gaming Espanol, and Speed Gaming Deutsch. So please be sure to check out all of those channels. Thank you to all of the volunteers behind the scenes, both running the tournament and at the Speed Gaming network of channels. So for Thalane, This Is Not Yoho, OSS Geek, Ack the Boker, I am Jex Reffi. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to stick around for all of the rando action going on today, and we'll see you next mission.